being able to sit here and look out the window and see all the whole Himalaya range as it goes by. You see the 5 tallest mountains in the entire world. We just saw Mount Everest. The view up here is ridiculous.
Bhutan is a special place. Geographically speaking, Bhutan is pretty close to Nepal. It's right next door. But environmentally, the two are very different. Bhutan has managed to preserve most of its forest and wildlife habitat. In fact, it's the only country in the world where forest cover is increasing. The Bhutanese have tremendous respect for their environment. My favorite thing about Bhutan is that they measure their country's wealth not based on dollar amount, but on gross national happiness. Obviously, we couldn't wait to check it out. Mingma with us from the World Wildlife Fund to be our environmental expert. But we also wanted to have an expert on Bhutanese culture. Se Wong was our man. Hello.
Hello. Se Wong.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
Welcome to Bhutan.
Hello.
How are you? Nice to meet you.
Nice.
Welcome to Bhutan.
Hello, I'm Mark. Nice to meet you.
Hello, I'm Doc.
Hey, Doc.
It's my man. Hi. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Welcome to Bhutan.
Thank you very much.
I have to ask this question really quick. I'm sorry. Are your cold?
No. The hot air is trapped inside.
Okay, so it's just like bouncing off between. We're in Bhutan.
Ingmar, are we going to the monastery?
Yeah.
Where is it?
It's just north of here.
Buddhism is the #1 religion in Bhutan, and its influence is present almost everywhere you look. Monasteries are the most obvious symbol of that influence, and there are dozens throughout Bhutan's countryside. The architecture in these places is incredibly detailed. Buddhists try to live in harmony with all things, and it's apparent even in the murals and artwork of these amazing buildings.
No matter where you're from or what you believe in, you're just like, there's definitely a power there. And it's a strong one. It's really cool.
We're on our way to the Pajika Valley. Fortunately, it's a beautiful drive. Unfortunately, there's only one road to get there, and it's steep, curvy, and stretches really, really high into the mountains.
The altitude is so high that the package of pistachios is about to explode.
We are 7,000 feet above sea level.
Oh, wow. No wonder my ears were steadily getting clogged.
Funny because Nepal is right next door, right?
Yes.
But it's so different.
We have much more forest cover than them. Something like 72 plus.
72%?
Yes. Of our total land area is forest.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then there's a law mandated by the king that would require a minimum of 60% to be maintained.
So you're maintaining above
Yes.
what is mandatory.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. I like Bhutan, man.
Yeah.
Se Wong is badass. He was born in Bhutan, but he went to college at Berkeley in California. That may sound unusual, but it's actually very common here. Bhutan only opened its doors to the Western world in 1974. Since then, they've maintained a careful balance of old world tradition and modern convenience.
That's a scooter. And there's a monk on the back of the scooter.
I think I've seen that monkey.
I went to the United States. Other of my friends have gone to Harvard, and we speak the global language. But if we cannot preserve our local treasures, then we would be failures, right?
You coming back here to help this country says a lot about how strong, how powerful, and how important it is for its people to keep it as it is.
It made sense for us, to be isolated and, speak our own language. But I know, I go out to party. But just because I go and dance to Black Eyed Peas,
Right.
doesn't make me un-Bhutanese,
Right.
What are the flags on the big poles?
Oh, they are prayer flags.
Prayer flags?
Yes, they are prayer flags. They're mostly hoisted on mountaintops, but also around houses.
They're what flags?
Prayer flags, they are for when somebody dies, you can hoist prayer flags.
Shortly after we arrived in Bhutan, Doc found out that he had lost a good friend back home, ODB. I think being so far away made it even harder on him. He decided to stick it out the best he could.
It doesn't look like it's sunshiny on this side. Oh, is it freezing cold? Do you have a thermometer on your watch?
Yes.
What does it say that it is?
It's like 10 degrees up there.
Oh, about these, huh?
It is really cold, and I left my jacket in the bag. Not a thinker, this one. Not a thinker.
We stopped at one of the highest points in the mountain pass, and Mingma pointed out some of Bhutan's natural resources.
It's called old growth forest. The choice is whether to cut down and sell it or to maintain it, to protect it, so that it can provide watershed for hydroelectricity or also for high-end tourism. It's very similar to the North American, the Pacific Northwest old growth forest. Bhutan is facing the same issues as the United States. Now, this is something I think the Western world can learn from Bhutan and help reduce the reliance on forests.
Yeah.
Can I jump?
No, don't.
I thought Uncle Ming was going down right there.
That was the scene from the House of Ming.
We hung this flag up in the memory of ODB. I can't be at the memorial service or the wake. I'm way out here right now, but I'm still, keeping them in spirit. So we hung this flag up in memory of ODB in the highest place in the highest mountain. May his spirit lasts forever, you hear me? That's what it is, man. All right, I'm good.
We are here to give you something that will make you look good.
Oh, these are the kind of socks homeboy got on.
Wow, this is beautiful.
So, I think the ladies will go to the room. You can get dressed.
God, I feel so special right now.
It's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes.
This one, huh? You're gonna look cool, man.
Do I get to keep it?
I'm gonna go look in the mirror. I know, so my good. This is so cool. See, I like it open.
Little bony ass legs. See how some bony ass legs.
Thanks, dude. I'm not very good at getting dressed, apparently.
That looks so beautiful on you.
That looks gorgeous.
It's like we got ready for a wedding or something. We're gonna be bridesmaids. What's going on? That's awesome. Oh my god. They look awesome. They look so. I love Mark in his plaid.
All right, Doc. Make like a karate pose and move your mouth and I'll do the words. I know your father. I fought him. He was very strong, but I am much stronger. You and me, fight now. There can be only one.
When I get back in the gym, I'm working my legs.
I'm gonna kick some ass at archery. Actually, either kick ass or just learn how to do it.
Archery time.
Archery time. Archery is the national sport in Bhutan. On any given weekend, there are archery competitions all over the country. We were invited to a local competition in the valley. Normally, women don't participate. I think the local men were a little surprised to see Eva, Skye, and myself show up with our bows.
Oh, dude. How are your nuts?
At 154 meters, Bhutan's targets are 3 times as far as the Olympic distance. They shoot from a football field and a half away.
I can't even see it.
I don't think I'm gonna be very good at this because here they have it way closer than what I'm used to. Like, I'm probably gonna overshoot it. I don't know. I'll have to adjust for it being so close.
Shoot that
Put it on the
thing,
middle
shoot
finger.
that thing.
Yeah. Is this?
The objective of the game is you aim
Right.
and hit on the target.
Sure, of course, but, you know.
Yeah.
Pull slow and then release.
Nice.
That was a good try.
On straight.
Give me 10 minutes to practice.
Okay.
Don't worry, boys. I'm a professional at something. There's a dog in the way.
Breathing, posture, and vision.
If I can make this thing on my finger.
I can get it myself. I'm too stubborn. Whoops.
Breathing, dog, breathing.
Almost nailed him. Yeah, that was the real right there. How we plug it right there, huh? They shot me in the back of the arm. For real.
This is pretty rad. This is how you live with nature. Everyone's hanging out, doing archery. The ladies are singing and dancing. The sun's coming through the clouds. This is badass.
Right next to the archery competition, we noticed a group of school kids at recess. We decided to jump the fence and say hi. Somehow it turned into a volleyball game.
Volleyball. Skye used to play volleyball.
Yeah.
Come on, honey.
I'm gonna watch this time.
I'm telling you, pretty soon, any minute here is going to break out into Meet the Parents. Ow!
Sorry.
Last ball!
What's up?
Whoa, watch out.
Come on, baby.
Look out, look out! Steal it?
Yeah! Go get it! Yeah!
Come on, Doc. He played it.
Who won? You guys? Woo! Team
Name Sariche.
Thank you, Kariche.
Cariche! Name Same Cariche! Dude, that is my audience. That's my crowd. I want them with me everywhere I go. They're just cheerleaders.
Thank you. Yeah, Mother. 2, 3.
Going into the wetlands here in search of the endangered black-necked crane.
That's beautiful. Look at that.
The sad thing is, most people probably have no idea that there's a place called Bhutan. Did you know?
You know, I really wasn't aware of it. I kept saying we were going to Burma.
I got an email from somebody yesterday when we were at the other
Oh, this
hotel.
is funny.
And it said, "Hey, Mark, are you still in Beirut with Cameron Crowe?"
We continued our drive toward the Pajika Valley, home of the black-necked crane. Each year, these extremely rare birds stop in Bhutan as part of their migration. For centuries, the cranes have been an important part of Bhutanese culture, and the residents go out of their way to coexist with these symbolic birds. Hey, we're gonna go see the birds, okay? Baby, very quiet.
We're gonna walk all the way down there and those damn birds are gonna fly away.
Thank you, girl.
They're so big.
Do realize that conserving this valley and making the habitat, palatable for the cranes to come here will also brings in benefits. But on the other hand, they also have to forego some of the offerings of modernity.
These people have decided that keeping the cranes in their valley is more important than having the convenience of electricity. It's admirable that they would give up that convenience, because if they were to build power lines here, the birds would lose their habitat and disappear from the landscape of Bhutan, ending centuries of tradition.
As you may see, the children are walking very quietly for the cranes. It's school time. It's just one of those little things in life that you have to give up. calm river. The cranes have black necks, they have long legs. They come from Tibet. When it gets warmer, they leave Bhutan to go to Tibet. Thank you. You better run.
Did you see all the kids?
Yes, I did.
Oh my God, they were so cute.
The king, our king, has said that the future of the country lies in their hands.
It's cool how both in Nepal and here in Bhutan, you can see that like the kids are learning so much, you know, that there's so much coming from the kids.
Hey, honestly, man, it seems like other kids in other countries is more disciplined to learn than the U.S.
Yeah.
They don't know the hottest song, but they know, you know, what's going on with their environment.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
What's happening in their world that
That's
really
right.
affects them.
That's right.
Nature is so much fun. Hey, you guys, is nature fun? Nature is fun.
Nature is awesome with a capital O.
Our next stop was a local village right down the road.
If you get this, then you've got it,
Okay,
everything.
Name,
Same,
Same,
Kadinche.
Kadinche.
Name Same Kadinche.
Thank you beyond the sky and the earth.
Wow.
All right, lunchtime.
In the village, everyone was working together to rebuild a monastery. It was so cool. Inside the walls of the monastery courtyard, we saw people carving ornate columns, cutting logs by hand, and rebuilding a foundation by pounding mud for hours.
I'm gonna go pound some mud, baby.
The nuns asked us to help them with the foundation. It was the coolest thing to be a part of. This structure will last for centuries.
Help me rebuild a monastery right now. How rad is this?
Life moves at a different pace here in Bhutan. The fusion of religion, tradition, and a genuine respect for the environment gives the Bhutanese have carefully opened their doors to the outside world, and yet they continue to live in harmony with the world around them. It's a way of living very different from what we're used to, but for them, it seems to work.
2 hands, Skye, 2 hands. 2 hands, that's right.
Left the footprints behind, huh?
You know what the greatest thing is being part of this temple right here. I got footprints in this temple. Can't no other rapper, MC, singer can say that. I got footprints in a temple way out here. That's pimping. I was part of a structure. And plus, it don't matter what country I'm in, I'm pimping. See these little ladies behind here? I get them to jug them. See, look at them. How y'all doing? See, look at them. We got to be a pimp wherever. Pimp don't just stay in the U.S. If you could come over here and get ladies to laughing, you a pimp all over. I'm worldwide pimp.
And to all the beautiful people who came from the United States, I'd like to say thank you. White is the color of purity.
Well then, strap it on. Thank you.
And to the singer, a Bhutanese album by my friend.
Awesome. Thank you.
And to the dude who's been complaining about the cold all the time.
That's a That
Thank
is
you,
a
La.
beautiful.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
From Santa Monica Boulevard to Fukjika Valley.
Yes.
It's a long way, but thank you very much.
Name Same Karenche.
Jumbaleso. Jumbaleso. You're welcome. Hagelo!
I think this is the end of the show.
Wow.
Wow.
I had a blast.
This is the best time ever. It's been so amazing.
Serious.
I'm not going. I'm not saying bye. I'm not going. I'm not going. I'm not going.
I ain't saying bye neither. I'm just saying see y'all till next time.
Yeah.